did this thing, but that Farnsworth feller's here and he's talking about me shortly and walked about halfway to me, so I just figured I'd start recording just in case.
How you doing? You coming in the meal today?
Hey, you guys open here?
Yeah, we are. Well, not at 4 o'clock, and it's meatloaf.
All right. So don't you guys do the thing here on Tuesdays and Thursdays?
Yeah, that's open.
All right, cool,
That's
cool.
a different one.
Thank you.
Hi there.
You got your 5 already?
I think you're already in this week shop.
Yes, ma'am, earlier this week.
Yeah.
It's once per week?
Once per week.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
See you next week.
Yes, ma'am. Well, now we know. Knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. I didn't get what I wanted for my birthday, which is a chunk of lead to the head. But, well, on the bright side, I've still got the ability to record. And as long as people are afeared of me possibly being recorded, I got a little bit less risk of being harassed. I still got a telephone here with an assault on it by Robert Franklin Warnick. I was going down the street one day and I was trying to show all of the different predators who have been my predators since Natalie died, that were in town, that I had to see just walking down the street. And how difficult it was, because I had to walk a whole bunch of extra blocks through Chapel, Nebraska, so I could tiptoe around all the people who were fucking stupid and give me troubles. When you say you just need to stay away from them, Jesus fucking goddamn Christ, are you stupid? It is fucking immoral as goddamn hell. And hell is immoral, I assure you. Making somebody go through all that extra fucking trouble just to get their fucking mail. See, there's the problem. Robert Franklin Warnick, man, I didn't have any problem with him before all this. When I found out he was a pedophile, of course, that's something that I was surprised to know. I'd heard rumors before, but rumors ain't the same thing as knowing. I figured I was close enough that if he was really a sex offender, he'd have to come knock on my door and let me know he was a sex offender. Apparently that ain't the case. Robert Franklin Warnick sucks a fucking bunch. Now, for him to run me down in a vehicle, to get in his vehicle, and physically drive and cut me off and assault me and break my telephone, that's bad enough. There's also the fact that he lives literally like right across the street from Leslie Snell. How's that gonna do anybody any goddamn good? Meanwhile, my friend Jeff lives there too. He lives right next door to Leslie. So for me to go see Jeff Baldridge, I mean, you gotta understand, this is already an unsafe situation for me to have to walk past there with Robert Franklin Warnick living there. So I try to avoid it at all costs. That doesn't exactly work when I go to Pumpkin Pantry And of course, there's Robert Franklin Mornick following me at a fucking pumping pantry to fucking harass me and threaten me. That doesn't fucking work. Meanwhile, I know from experience that if I go in to talk to the police by myself, ain't shit gonna happen. Police ignore male victims until people are fucking dead. And then they try to hide the fact that, yeah, they fucked up. Maybe they should have listened to the one with the penis. Now, it wasn't specifically Scott DaCosta whose resulting stupidity ended up with Natalie Bollinger getting blasted in the head. That was a lot of people's stupidity, a lot of people's inability to listen, a lot of people's unwillingness to understand that them talking over me and giving advice over and over again. People just wanted to give advice, and nobody's advice lined up. When you get into my business, keep in mind, ain't none of it gonna be private. There are people's lives at stake, and I'm not fucking around. If I gotta pretend to be the bad guy to rescue some kids or save some home bums, then goddamn it, it's worth it. But keep in mind, it'd just be playing. If I had it in me to go running around doing the stuff that everybody says I ought to be doing, fuck, who got the energy for that kind of hatred? How do you hate somebody so much that you would want them dead? How fucked up is that? I showed that although somebody might have threatened to kill Natalie and her family, I certainly didn't. Although there were people who raped and molested Natalie, I certainly didn't. Not only did I provide evidence that I didn't, I provided evidence from Natalie herself of who did. Just the thought of those fucking pedophiles and fucking rapists and fucking druggies and all the shit that they pulled on her and me, and I'm sure many others. And I know what class of people I fit into, because I got Tourette syndrome and I can't control it all the time. Yeah, classify me as one of the druggies. That's being autistic and stimming. You're just gonna treat me like I'm on drugs. I gotta worry about a fucking police officer blowing my head off because I got autism. But whoop you fucking do, right? Meanwhile, these goddamn cops have enough training with autism to know how to fucking exploit it, now don't they? They can abuse their power to prevent us from having any of our constitutional or legal rights. And nobody bats a goddamn eye. Here's a sandwich. Here's a sandwich. Here's a sandwich. I do have to eat, don't I? That's an important fact of life, isn't it? But I got to do that every day. In addition to doing all the crap that you guys want me to do, in addition to having to deal with disabilities in conjunction with people's bad assumptions. Your ignorance is not fucking bliss for those of us who are victimized by your stupidity And your excuse of ignorance, the word there is ignore. You guys pretend like I'm the social moron and one who's selfish. You know what? I was able to predict everything that was happening and what the possibilities were, what the likelihood was of these possibilities, because I do understand people. I understand your motivations. I understand your fears. I also understand your stupidity and the stuff that you hide behind. Holy hell. We're always supposed to feel bad for parents, right? Well, let me tell you how most of these parents, they become parents. Well, all of our parents got a drug of choice. Most of us were conceived while our parents were under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Most of us. Whether our parents want to admit it or not. Our parents got screwed up on some substance, did not use a condom, and lo and behold, here we are listening to our parents whine that they didn't know what they were getting into. Oh my God. What do you do? When it was a big family, that's one of the great things about having a big family. You learned everything earlier. You learned how to take care of yourself and take care of your siblings earlier. Between learning about the different breeds of pigs and chickens and the animals' behavior so that you can collect your eggs and such, or learning a bunch of stupid social conditioning, which one do you think was more important back then? What do you think was more important back then? Helping to raise your brothers and sisters, or getting the new Fallout game? Or getting the next Barbie even? I mean, you're having to learn some parenting skills pretty young. When you have a big family, you do work together. You have to. Getting your own space is tough. Lucky me, I didn't grow up in big families. In the system, however, it's different. You got a whole bunch of people that may or may not work together, and some of them just straight hate you. They want you dead. Some of them are just plain nuts. Some of the kids that I was locked up with killed people, and some of them had weird reason for doing it, you know? Oh my God, oh, that feels good, but it hurts. I might sneeze. So then we got these parents. They want to tell us about how responsible they are as parents because they're parents. They are responsible because they're parents now. Legally, yeah, they're responsible for another human life, but that doesn't mean that they're a responsible human being or being a responsible parent. And a lot of people don't see the difference. We got a lot of youngins who are 17, 18 years old or younger. They're already fantasizing about having a baby because it represents freedom for them. When I have a baby, I can leave the house. That's a scary proposition. Our parents didn't get pregnant because they were being responsible. They got pregnant because they were being irresponsible and not using protection. If you are planned, you are one of the few. Life happens. Now, when it comes to societies like ours, we like to kick whoever's down. When it comes to people who are disabled, who end up homeless, we got less of a chance than anybody else because we're already at the top of the list for being victimized. We're within the top 5 already at that point. Now, as far as being killed by police, disabled people they account for 51% of those killed by police in 2019, and homeless people accounted for 49%. Black folks accounted for 22%. Both the disabled and the black populations had equal populations at 60 million at the time, and the homeless only accounted for about 500,000. So that's 1/120th the population size of either black or disabled. That's pretty significant, because if homeless had the same population size, killing the homeless remain the same per capita, the police would be killing over 48,000 homeless people per year. 48,000, that's a pretty significant number. The majority of those being males, just so you know. We are preconditioned that it is less acceptable to kill a woman than to kill a man. Or that a police officer who kills a woman must be doing something wrong, and a police officer who kills a man, well, we can look at the conditions of it, I suppose. Was it a homeless man? Well, I'm sorry, I don't know where I left off. It muted. I didn't intend on doing that. So, I suppose I'll have to go back through the video and find out. On the bright side, I didn't sneeze all over my phone. That would have been unpleasant. Anyway, I guess I better get back to the world. I still got about half a tank of gas. We'll see if we can hopefully do something with that. Right there, half a tank of gas. Woohoo! All right, we're good to go. All right, now I want to remind all y'all, Christians, Muslims, Jewish folks, Hindus, Buddhists, all of you have Lieutenant Colonel Stanislav Petrov to thank for the fact that you are alive today. On September 26th, 1983, I was 3 years old, by the way. Well, I would have been almost 3 years old. Lieutenant Colonel Stanislav Petrov saved every single one of us. Literally saved all of our lives. All because he didn't do his job. I want to thank Lieutenant Colonel Stanislav Petrov for not doing his job. Whether you want to call it loneliness or laziness, or some of you might even consider it stupidity, every single human being, every dog, every cat, every bird has Lieutenant Colonel Stanislav Petrov to thank for the fact that they are alive today. All right. Good to be with you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. I don't see Robert Farnick here at the moment, so I suppose I could head off and not be bugged. I'm ending the video. Good to be with you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind.